All right, we're going to talk about the court systems because it's important to know how they work and how they operate. So basically, the way the court systems work is that you can literally make up any lie that you want, any fear that you want. You can go into the court and you can project it outwardly into the court, and they will approve documents. They don't need real actual evidence. They don't need to hear the real story. They just will approve. Sometimes they need some kind of evidence, but even when they have the evidence, they won't approve it. Or I don't even know like what it is they're doing, but what I'm noticing is that judicial officers are coloring with their coloring crayons all over the law. They're making up their own laws as they go. That's a concern for me as an American citizen. Because now, because of that, we are having our constitutional rights violated. I've had it violated by 2 different judges in Dakota County, Tim Wormiger and Adam Johnson. Andrew is who we're in court about. Adam Johnson, okay? So that is happening. And I just want to talk about, like, the courts and, like, what kind of person I am, okay? So I have had lots of boyfriends, but it's because when I see behaviors I don't like, I move on. And the behaviors I was seeing was like addiction issues, like addiction to alcohol, to video games. I've never really had anybody who was addicted to drugs. My ex-boyfriend who did pass away, I found out he overdosed on drugs, but he was not on like drugs like that when we were together. He just had a really bad alcohol addiction, and then he hurt his back, and then he started becoming addicted to, he was mixing the alcohol and the pills together, and I was just observing, and I was like, okay, no. And I tried to, like, save him. I was like, I'm going to save him. I'm going to make him better. Like, you know, I really tried hard. I really loved him. I really, really loved him. And I really wanted to be with him. And I thought I was going to marry him someday. And we lived together. And I helped him raise his son. And I was like a mother to his son when I was there. I'd drive him to work. I'd bring him drive him to school in the morning. Or to his mom's. And then his mom would bring him to school. But then I'd pick him up from school. And he'd come hang out with me at my job. I was a closing assistant. Not every day this happened, but a lot. And, like, I really did love Jack as my own kid, because I had a stepmom growing up who did not treat us equally to her own kids. So I know how damaging that is and how bad that hurts. I mean, even the dogs as kids, right? Dogs, her animals, her pets were getting more gifts than me and my sister. And so that was very hurtful growing up. So I knew the right way to treat, I call them bonus children or whatever. I would never treat them differently. Even when I babysit kids, I treat all kids equally. And with kids, you're right, you have to build up that relationship. You have to build up that trust. You can't just come and say, oh, hi, all in their face. I kind of stay quiet. I kind of get down to their levels, you know. Sometimes I'm really happy and I show kids a lot of happiness. Actually, a lot of times I show kids a lot of happiness because that's what they like. They like the high energy, happy. So I try to be that around kids. But anyways, yeah, so me and Kyle dated. And when we went to Vegas, in that situation, I'll be honest, I was the domestic abuser, and I'm so happy we didn't get the law involved. Like, it was like an outburst I had, okay? Like, he got really, really drunk. I told him, I gave him a rule, okay? I gave him the lowdown of our Vegas trip. I had a business conference that was going on, okay? I invited him with me. He had never really traveled. I thought this should be fun, but I also was concerned because of his alcoholism. So I let him go on this trip with me, and I told him, I said, you can get as drunk as you want on Thursday, but Friday, please don't drink until after the event. We'll go out on the strip, we'll have a good time, like, just please be mindful of that, like, just please don't drink, you know, before. This man fucking makes me late, 1. 2, proceeds to get wasted before this conference, and so I can't even sit with my crew at this conference. I have to sit way in the back, and then some guy on stage makes a joke about the union workers, and he's like, really? Did he really just fucking say that? Like, talking loudly around other people, and I thought, oh my god, this is so embarrassing, like, I cannot believe this is my life right now. And I was like, please be quiet. I was like, he wasn't being quiet. So I finally was like, you leave. Like, you need to go. You can go leave. Go do whatever you want. Get as drunk as you want. I don't give a fuck. Just fucking leave. Please. Now. Go. Please. And I didn't say it like that, but I just kind of nicely said, can you please go? And he looks at me and he was like, really? You're a fucking bitch. Drunk, right? And I'm like, okay, whatever. So he walks out. Right after he leaves, you guys, they had this store set up for a surprise for us because I was a part of an MLM. And the curtain comes falling down. And I had to grab it. And I grabbed it. And there's like a whole row of people that like almost got hit with this rod. And I'm like, is this seriously my life right now? What the hell? So anyways, on dinner, I go up. I check on Kyle. He has got his pants off. He's passed out, face down on the bed, okay? And I'm like, okay, whatever. He's passed out. He's whatever. I'm just going to go do my own thing. So then the conference gets over. I'm going to go out with my friends. I'm like, fuck this guy. Like, we are done when we get home. Like, this is not acceptable to me. This is bad behavior. So I was like, we're going to go to, I'm going to go with my friends. And I did something that was probably illegal that night. I did. So the deal was, I paid for the flights, the hotel room. I paid for our tickets to the conference because it was for my business thing. I paid for a lot of shit on this trip. His thing was he had to pay for food out there. So I'll be honest, I did take his card to buy me a couple drinks because I was like, that's what I'm doing. I know, super illegal, right? Like, I can't believe I did this. So I take his card, go out, buy drinks that night, and I'll be honest, I did kiss somebody else because I was like, fuck him, he's ruining my life, you know? So I get back, he's upset because I went out without him, and he threw my suitcase on the ground in the bathroom, dumped all my clothes all over the bathroom floor, stole my Adderall, and stole my booze. And I was so pissed off at him that I jumped on him because he's like, you're out there having fun without me, like, fuck you, you bitch, like, screaming in my face, profanity. So I was like, you want to have fun? You want fun? And I jumped on him and I started hitting him, and I was like, and then all of a sudden we get a knock on our door, and I'm like, oh my god, uh-oh. So I went and sat in the bed, and I just sat, like, we had 2 beds in our room, so I sat in one bed. And then Kyle went out there, and the security guard saw that he was actually the victim in the situation. And I'm like, oh, God, I feel so bad, dude. Like, I can't believe I just did that. Like, that is not good, Stephanie. Like, that, like, what was that? Like, what came out of you just now? Because that is not acceptable behavior. So then the next day, he came to the conference. We had a great day. I looked at his ear. I felt really bad because I saw a bruise in his ear. So here's the deal, you guys. Women can be the domestic abusers, and I have seen it, and I have been it. But I don't need a court to decide my fate if I should go to jail for that. What happened after that trip is, then he got really drunk again on Sunday, right? And he's calling, saying F you, bitch, to me, like, just all this profanity. This relationship clearly is not working. I don't need a court to tell me the relationship's not working, okay? I was able to go home, pack my stuff. Yes, it caused drama, me packing my stuff and leaving. He did not want me to leave. He tried to call the cops on me. I was like, why are you calling the cops, dude? Like, I'm just trying to get my shit and go. They're going to let me get my stuff and go, dude. Like, I had my sister come help me move out. Like, it was a whole ordeal. It was a whole traumatic experience I can share about more in detail later. But after I broke up with him, he would not leave me alone. So I was like, dude, like, I don't want to be with you. Please, like, stop, Kyle. Like, I'm sorry, but, like, this just isn't working. The alcoholism, all of it, it's just not working. I just needed him to know it's not working, okay? So then, once I was still kind of hanging out with him, and then finally when I officially ended it, I was like, hey, we cannot hang out anymore. Like, this is done. I don't want to be with you. I'm sorry. I'm moving on. I ended up actually, it's because I started talking to somebody else is what happened. I was just being nice by talking to him, and then I want to be respectful of my new relationship, so I stopped talking to Kyle. And because I stopped talking to Kyle, he decided to stalk me and my friend. I worked at a salon at the time, and he would sit outside the salon, him and his friend, and they would drive and follow my friend. And she goes, dude, there's a red truck following me right now. And I'm like, what? And she kept telling me that she was very scared. And I'm like, okay, what is going on? So then I leave work one night. I'm going to my friend Bailey's house in Edina, right? Because we like to hang out. We like to go down the rabbit hole, do our research, right? And I look over, and this car is following me. And I realize, oh my God, that's Kyle's new car, because he had gotten another car because his truck broke down. And so it was like his new car that he just gotten. And I'm like looking over, and he's like buzzing after me, dude. Like looking at me, like, and I'm like, so I called my friend Bailey. I was like, Bailey, what the hell? Like, Kyle's following me right now to your house. And she was like, what? And I was like, yeah, what do I do? Like, I'm scared. Like, I don't know what to do. I'm just driving on the road, like, not looking at him, because I'm like, holy fuck. Now my heart is pounding. I'm scared, you guys. I am fucking scared. So then I decided to speed up. He speeds up. I slam my brakes, and I get off on the exit, and it's too late. He's got to go, you know? So I got to the exit. I sat for a while, and then I took, like, a back way to my friend Bailey's house. But I was like, what the hell? So then my new boyfriend at the time was like, his dad was an attorney. He's like, you need to file an HRO on him. And I'm like, okay, how do I do that? So we go to the court, me and my ex, well, now he's my ex, right? Me and my new boyfriend at the time, right, go to the courthouse, and I tell the lady everything they're doing. They accept it, approve it, waive the fee, everything. And I remember Kyle was so mad. He's like, why would you involve the courts like that? Like, that's going to be on my record. And I was like, dude, you wouldn't leave me alone. But honestly, he's right. I should have just been firm and said, hey, I don't want to be with you. Please leave me alone. But I couldn't do that because I didn't want to hurt him. So instead of me being honest with my voice and using my voice, I went to the courts and I put that on his record. That's what's wrong with our court system. Like, this is not okay. They should not be getting involved in our personal lives. They should stay out of it. And we should just learn how to get along, okay? That's what needs to happen. I love you. Have a great day.